I didn't miss dinner. Not once. Not even when my mother died. Not even the night I broke my arm. Not even when the power went out and the whole neighborhood went dark. Because the one time I did, something else came instead. And I'm telling you right now, whatever it is, it doesn't knock twice. It just waits. Exactly 6 p.m. That's the rule. I know how it sounds, like some weird routine, right? But this wasn't my rule. It was my father's. And before he died, he made me promise something. Not about money. Not about family. Not even about the house. He grabbed my shirt, pulled me close, and whispered, "Never miss dinner. No matter what happens, even if you're not hungry, you sit at that table." I laughed back then. I thought it was just some old man superstition. But he didn't laugh. His face, it looked like he was remembering something. Or someone. The first few months after he died, I followed the rule out of habit. Set the table. 1 plate. 1 chair. 6 p.m. Eat. Every day. It was quiet. Too quiet. Just me, the ticking wall clock, and the sound of my fork scraping against the plate. But then something started to feel off. It began small. Sometimes the food would still be warm, even if I knew I hadn't touched it yet. Sometimes I'd swear I heard another chair move slightly, like someone adjusting their position. I told myself it was grief, stress, imagination. Until the night I almost broke the rule. I was late from work. Traffic was bad, my phone was dead, and I got home around 6:07 p.m. 7 minutes late. The house felt wrong the moment I stepped in. Cold. Still. Like it was holding its breath. And then I saw it. The table was already set. 2 plates. Not one. The second plate had food on it. Fresh. Steam still rising. I froze. I hadn't cooked that. I hadn't even been home. And then I noticed the chair. It wasn't empty. It was slightly pulled back, like someone had just stood up. I remember whispering, "Hello?" like an idiot. No answer. Just that silence. Thick and heavy. I didn't sit down that night. I didn't eat. I just stood there staring at that second plate until the steam slowly disappeared. At exactly 6:10 p.m., something happened. The lights flickered. Once. Twice. And then, a sound. Not from upstairs. Not from outside. From behind me. Breathing. Slow. Wet. Close. I turned around. Nothing. But the smell, I'll never forget that smell. Rotten. Sweet. Like meat left too long in heat. That was the first time I understood. The rule wasn't about eating. It was about timing. The next day, I didn't risk it. I sat down at 5:59 p.m., plate ready, hands shaking, and right when the clock hit 6, I felt it. Not heard, not seen, felt, like someone or something had taken the seat across from me. The air shifted, the temperature dropped, and the chair creaked, slowly, like weight had been placed on it. I didn't look up. I couldn't. I just started eating. Fast. Every bite felt heavy, like I was swallowing stones. And across from me, silence. But not empty silence. Occupied silence. That's when I realized something worse. The food on my plate was disappearing faster than I was eating it. Like something else was eating too. From the same plate. I dropped my fork. That was a mistake. The moment the metal hit the plate, the chair across from me scraped violently against the floor. I looked up, and I swear on everything, for just 1 second, I saw it. Not clearly,
But enough. A shape. Tall. Bent. Too thin in some places. Too swollen in others. And its face. It didn't have one. Just a dark, hollow surface. Like something unfinished. And then it was gone. Just an empty chair again. But the plate. Completely clean. That night I didn't sleep. The next morning, I searched the house. I thought maybe my father left something. A note. A clue. And I found it. Not in a drawer. Not in a safe. In the wall. Behind the kitchen cabinet. A small, hidden notebook. Old. Worn. His handwriting. And the first sentence I read was,
It doesn't care what you eat. As long as you sit. I didn't stop reading. I couldn't. My hands were shaking so bad the pages kept slipping, but I forced myself through it. The notebook wasn't a diary. It was a record. Dates. Times. Notes. Short, sharp sentences like someone trying not to think too much. Day 3. It stayed longer. Day 11. It made a sound. Day 18. It noticed when I hesitated, and then one line, written deeper than the others, like he pressed too hard. Day 27. I saw its hand. I felt something twist in my chest reading that. Because I had seen it too. That thing across the table, and suddenly my father didn't seem crazy anymore. He seemed trapped. There were rules written in the back. Not many. Just a few. Sit before 6 p.m. Never leave the table early. Do not speak to it. Do not acknowledge it. Always finish your meal. And then, Rule 6. But it wasn't written clearly. It was scratched out, over and over again, like he tried to erase it, but couldn't. All I could make out were a few words. If it invites you, never accept not your father. That's when I heard it. A soft knock. From the dining room, my heart dropped instantly. I looked at the clock. 5:58 p.m. Too early. Slowly, I walked out of the kitchen. The table was already set. Again, 2 plates. Again, but this time, the second plate wasn't food. It was empty, and the chair across from mine was pulled out. Waiting, the knock came again. But not from the door. From the table, like fingers tapping wood. I backed away. No, I whispered. This wasn't right. This wasn't part of the routine. Then, it happened. A voice. Low. Broken. Familiar. Son. I froze. Every part of me went cold. Because I knew that voice. My father. Sit with me. The words dragged like something was learning how to speak them. I felt tears hit my eyes instantly. For a second, just 1 second, I wanted to believe it. That he was still here. That somehow he came back. But then, I remembered the notebook, not your father. I stepped back. No. The air changed instantly. Heavier. Angrier. The chair slammed forward on its own. The empty plate cracked down the middle, and the voice, it changed. No longer human, deeper, wider. Wrong. You missed dinner. The clock hit 6 p.m., and everything went dark. Not just the lights. The room itself. Like something swallowed the space around me. I couldn't see the walls. Couldn't see the floor. Only the table. And that chair, and something sitting in it. This time, it didn't hide. It was clearer. Long limbs folded wrong. Skin stretched too tight over some places, hanging loose in others. And that face, still not a face. Just a smooth, shifting surface, like it was trying to become something. It leaned forward slowly, and I felt something press into my mind. Not words. Hunger. Pure. Endless. Hunger. Then I saw something worse. Its arms. They weren't empty. They were layered, like multiple arms overlapping each other. Some too small, some too thin, some like a child's, and suddenly, I understood. The food didn't matter. Dinner didn't matter. It wasn't eating the food. It was waiting for something else. Something bigger, a mistake. A break in the rule. A moment like this. You didn't sit, it whispered inside my head. You didn't eat. The darkness tightened around me, and the chair beside mine slid out, waiting for me. That's when it clicked. The empty plate, the second seat, it wasn't for it. It was for me. I wasn't feeding it. I was becoming the meal. I ran. I didn't think. I didn't look back. I just ran straight out of the house, into the street, into the cold air, and the moment I crossed the front door, everything stopped. The darkness snapped away. The sounds returned. Cars, wind, life. I didn't go back that night, or the next, or the next. But here's the problem. It didn't stay in the house. The third night, at exactly 6 p.m., I heard it again. Not from the kitchen, from right behind me. A chair scraping on concrete. I turned slowly, and there it was. Not fully, just the outline. Sitting, waiting. And then it pulled out another chair. Right beside it. You're late. Now I understand what my father meant. It doesn't matter where you are. The table follows. And if you don't sit, eventually, you don't get a choice.